Shalom, shalom again. I want to talk to you. I just talked to you about pixels and about painting your pixels in your picture of life, and helping other people paint their pixels. And I want to talk to you now about opposites. And there are a lot of opposites in this world, but the opposites that I'm referring to are the opposites of relationships. And this can be a romantic relationship, this can be a friendship relationship, this can be a business relationship, it can be any kind of relationship. But in relationships, we have amazing potential for good and amazing potential for bad. And it comes from the opposites and understanding the opposites. Now, some of these opposites are trust versus assumption, love versus ego, truth versus perception, and universe versus humiverse. Oh, what was that? Your ears just perked up? Humiverse is an entirely new word that I just invented because I needed a word to describe what it was that I was thinking about. Now, universe comes from Latin. Uni is one, and verse is revolution. So universe is everything that has ever been, is, and will ever be in existence. Universe is all of these things harmoniously moving around. All right? Now, humiverse is our own reality that we create when we decide to assume that we understand the way things are. Now, trust is the opposite of assumption. Trust comes from love. It comes from loving yourself. And in order to love yourself and trust yourself, you must be able to destroy your ego. Your ego is the thing that stands in the way between you understanding actual true reality and you imposing your own reality on everything else. The ego is the thing that says, I am the most important thing, and everybody else can kiss it. The ego makes it so you can't even trust yourself because it puts a wall between that part of you that wants to love. Now, a lot of us have been damaged in the past. We've had people break our trust, and we end up carrying that over because we don't unpack the baggage. But it's very important that we unpack those bags before we start another similar relationship, because until you unpack the old stuff, you can't fill it in with any new stuff. And every relationship should be a new relationship. So please, unpack your old bags before you start going into something new, because otherwise you're like a man who wears suspenders, braces, and a belt. He can't even trust his own trousers to stay up. And that's a horrible way to live. Now, like I said, assumption comes from the ego. You think you understand everything that's going on, but you really have no idea because it's not your situation that you're in, it's somebody else's situation, and you're looking from the outside. You are judging based on incomplete data of the situation. Let's just say that you have a relationship where your business partner has a former business partner, and he talks to that business partner every once in a while, and you assume that him talking to that business partner means that he's going out and doing side jobs, but that's not necessarily true. So you're judging on incomplete data, and you're making a determination, and what happens is you create an entirely new reality. You create a humiverse that spins off from the universe, and that humiverse is all about you. You destroy your own world, and you destroy the world of others when you let your ego take over. And you can't expect anyone to understand or sympathize with you. You can't expect the person that you're having the row with, you're having the fight with, you can't expect them to change themselves because you have a problem with reality, because it doesn't match up with your own imposed reality that you have created and tried to project on everybody else. Ultimately, all of this stems from selfishness. It's the selfishness of the ego that says, my reality is the truth. And because of that, it lacks compassion, because you cannot be in a position even to understand yourself or love yourself, let alone understand and love each other. Sometimes, like I said, we're damaged by others. And what happens when we get damaged by others is that the trust for other people isn't broken. We don't trust ourselves anymore. because we start second guessing ourselves, and we say, I can't believe I was suckered into that. I'm such a schmuck. I should have trusted my intuition. I should have trusted logic. I should have trusted in all these things. Whatever. Don't kill yourself inside because you made a mistake. We're all human. We all make mistakes. That is one of the most beautiful things about being human, and that is one of the most beautiful things that Hashem gives us, is the opportunity to make up for those mistakes. But if we keep that ego in place, if we keep the egotistical thought that everything that happened was my fault, or I can't trust anybody going into the future because such and such happened in such and such a past. If we do that, then we take this beautiful gift that Hashem gives us and we throw it in the trash bin. Now, you can walk away from situations where you don't feel like you trust somebody, and that's fine. But, and this is a big but, if you do this, it is because you don't trust yourself. And if you do this, if you walk away from somebody, even if they haven't broken your trust, if you walk away from somebody in any kind of a situation, then you're running. And you're not even running to yourself, you're running away from yourself. And you will always have trust issues with anybody you have a relationship with because you won't live in the real world. Ultimately, in order to trust, you have to live in the real world. You cannot live in your own relative reality. That sounds really weird. You can't live in your own personal reality. And you won't be in harmony with the universe, with all the other people, and with all the forces of the universe. You won't be in harmony. So you will be physically unhealthy, and you will always be emotionally unhealthy, affecting the physical, of course. You will always be unhealthy because you're not happy with yourself. Now, the answer, like I said before, is to destroy the ego. It stands in the way. Once you destroy the ego, then you can understand and you can love yourself, and you can understand and love and see the God in you and the God in others. And you can realize that your reality may not be the reality that is true. It may not be universal reality. It may be humiversal. Don't carry your past into your present. When you carry your past into your present, it's like carrying a whole bunch of bags that you really don't need. Do you need the clothes that you wore 10 years ago when you were 20 different sizes? No, you don't need those clothes. So unpack them and leave them the hell where they were, and pack up new stuff to bring with you. Don't assume that you understand what somebody else is going through, because when you assume, you react, and you don't want to react. Almost nothing good ever comes from reaction. You want to respond. You want to question your perception of the situation because it might not be true. And you need to trust yourself enough that you know that you can handle a situation in which somebody else breaks your trust. That way, the trust in yourself doesn't get broken. That way, your bags stay packed with exactly the right size clothes that fit you, instead of carrying on to the next situation or staying in the same situation. But ultimately, just understand that your reality may not be the actual reality. It may be what you are manifesting and what you are imposing upon everybody else. It may be your own personal humiverse, not the universe. Ultimately, we all need to just be like children. Children trust. Children love. And you know what? Yeah, sometimes things get messed up in this world. Sometimes people take advantage of other people. But that's their problem. It's not yours. It's not your fault. You're not the schmuck. You just got caught in a lot of bad stuff. Okay? Make your choices. Love yourself. Love others. Trust yourself so that you can trust others. Because once you can trust others, the whole universe opens up to you instead of living inside your humiverse. Shalom Aleichem.